our Deputy Mayor, Councillor Foza Pierre Mandlovu, our Chief Whip, Councillor Nelly Nyanisa, members of the Executive Committee and councillors, our City Manager, Mr. Sipho Nzuza Mshazi, amakhosi asendlunkulu neinduna, our Deputy City Managers and Senior Management, leaders of the political parties and our own Regional Secretary, Mpemba Tsompisi. Abezindaba, our ratepayers, izithukuthwane zethu zikhona engicela sishayele izandla. Nabahlali bonke baseThekwini, makhansela naze nabahle today nigqoke zase-Africa, sivale Africa Month. Ngizofisa ukuqala nje ngingaqala inkulumo yami ezoba mfishane kakhulu ngaphandle kokuthi isikhathi ngokuzwakalisa ubuhlungu obukhulu obenzeka eSouth Africa, ukuhlukunyezwa kwabantu besifazane nabantwana. Sithi akuphele kuthi nya, izwe lethu siyalithanda. Izehlo esiyibone komabona kude nesizizwe emaredwini nesiyibone komakhalane bethu simelene nazo, ikakhulukazi njengomeya wesifazane. Ngifisa futhi kulo mhlangano ukwazisa ukuthi sihlangene la namhlanje kuhlale kwehla o disaster, kodwa kunobuhlungu obili obehlile la eThekwini. Obokuqala, umuntu wesifazane osemncane kuwo 13 obeya emsebenzini, kwehle isehlo sokuthi itekisi imbhanqe nesihlahla kwahlukana esingesenhle nesingezansi. Njengoba ke ewumunye wabahlali bethu, siyafisa ukusho kumndeni ukuthi sizwelana nawo. Esinye isehlo sesibili engifisa ukuthi njengabahlali baseThekwini ngisho ukuthi uJehova sengathi ngaba nawo lo mndeni. Senzeke laphana kuKhansela uMvubu eWard 19 lapho kungenelwe khona abantu besifazane ababili esithole ukuthi kade bewufakazi ecaleni elithile, babulawa ngesikhulu isihluku bobabili, umama nendodakazi. Ngala umagama ngoba sihlangana le namhlanje siuhulumeni onobuntu, uhulumeni onakekelayo. Ngizocela sisukume sigebisa amakhanda kancane. Esengathi imphefumulo yabo ingalala ngokuthula. Siyabonga. Baba Somlomo, we would like to take this opportunity and welcome you to this special council meeting convened for us to adopt the people's budget. This budget we are tabling for adoption is a people's budget because it is the first time in the history of eThekwini municipality that we had 110 budget IDP hearings in each and every ward. And also, we further had 6 regional hearings. In addition, we also held forums where we consulted different stakeholders, such as businesses and civil society. Lolu uhlahlomali lwabantu. We are the people's government, and the people have spoken. The city is now responding because we said in our Freedom Charter, abantu bayobusa, people shall govern. When we were campaigning last year, we said our councillors will be visible and available in communities through Masakane and ward meetings. Councillors must be accountable to communities and report back to their communities. Councillors will sign performance contracts and they have signed them. All councillors will work together with Amakosi and Izinduna, Loko Genzek. We will launch Operation Sukumasake, community participation in IDP roadshows and active ward committees. We have completed our ward committees in each and every ward. We are also dealing with back to basic, making sure that we are with the people. Indeed, our governing in the eThekwini municipality, local government is the hands, is the ears and eyes of our poor people. The budget is for the people, by the people. This budget will respond to people's concerns around poverty, unemployment, inequalities, and underdeveloped. It will respond to issues that are affecting our people who are living in townships, in rural areas, in backroom dwellings, omashu nasemlazi, emahostela, emijondolo, and especially those abangenamizi bazothola imizi ngale budget. The people have spoken to us. Our women have reminded us that this is the decade of women. We need a budget that will respond to their needs. Our youth have spoken to us. They said they want a holistic budget that will respond to youth development issues. We have heard them. Sinizwile bantu abasha, sanizwa abantu besifazane. We have really listened to what our people have had to say in the budget hearings. All our suggestions have been recorded and will be part of a separate report to the respective standing committees. Amakomiti, la kuhlala khona amakhansela, konke okusho abantu azogxila kukona. Wherever possible, we have incorporated your suggestions. For example, we have increased the block sum. Emva kokukhuluma kwabantu, we had to do this from the 266 million to 990 million over the MTRF. This block sum will be used to address concerns relating to pedestrian bridges, traffic calming measures, health hazard, sidewalks, passages, and other critical issues, especially in underdeveloped areas, and will be prioritized, taking into account the areas with the most need. The year of 2017 is the year of President O.R. Tambo. It is the year of deepening unity and cohesion. President O.R. once said, I quote, "It is our responsibility to break down barriers of divisions and create a country where there will be neither whites nor blacks, just South Africans, free and united in diversity." In his memory, we want to unite people of eThekwini. It can't be correct that we continuously divide them. We want people of eThekwini to be one. Part of what we are going to do is to have a big statue of our President O.R. Tambo in front of Durban City Hall. Long live the spirit of our President O.R. Tambo, long live. Tata Tambo is a symbol of unity and will begin a process of changing the logo of the eThekwini municipality. I-logo yethu izozelile. We will unveil a logo that will reflect who we are and the people of Durban, where we come from and where we are going. The dome logo will be changed, and we call on creative minds to come with a new symbol of eThekwini. The logo must be reflective of our vision, building the most livable and caring city in Africa by 2020. Durban is the economic powerhouse of KZN, and it makes a huge contribution to the South African economy. It is the first multimodal logistic platform and international passenger airport. It is a home to Africa, busiest container ports, global conferencing, and tourist destination. The people have spoken to us, and they said they want to benefit from the city's economic opportunities. The city cannot be experiencing economic opportunities that excludes our own people. The people's budget is inspired by President O.R. Tambo, who said, I quote, "We have a vision of South Africa in which black and whites shall live and work together as equals in conditions of peace and prosperity. I close quote. Our 1994 democratic breakthrough helped us to achieve peace, but we need more towards prosperity. It is time for our people to prosper. We have a vision of seeing Indians and Africans benefiting equally in the economy of the city of Durban. People have said, give us opportunities to grow as Africans. We cannot be small businesses for more than 23 years in democracy. The biggest challenge of our time is to transform the South African economy, to grow it in an inclusive manner. Our economy must reduce inequalities significantly, decrease unemployment, and eliminate poverty. The economy we have today is still largely informed by and still reflects our colonial and apartheid past. In our ANC 2014 election manifesto, we promised to use state procurement strategically and radically to ensure localization, promotion of Black-owned, women-owned, youth-owned enterprises and SMMEs, as well as to facilitate industrialization. We remain unapologetic about using the state's spending power to grow Black enterprises. We mean Black. Those who want to do businesses with us must get used to Black. Ninga eliteteki. We are gunning for it. The total for the 2017-2018 financial year is 45 billion, made up of an operating budget of 37.5 billion and a capital budget of 7.5 billion. The focus of this budget will be directed to the key areas in line with our promises to improve the lives of our people. These were mentioned during the 2016 local government election campaigning and in my inaugural speech last year. In my inaugural speech, I promised to continue to improve people's lives through accelerating service delivery, economic growth, job creation, social and rural development. I want to repeat that I'm still committed. It was not just a political speech, but a commitment. I promised to be people's mayor, and this is the reason I'm presenting a people's budget. As a collective leadership, we are committed to improve the economic conditions of our people through implementing inclusive, radical economic growth. Honorable Speaker, when we talk of inclusive, radical economic transformation, we are talking about the process that will speed up economic transformation to help us realize economic freedom that comes through sharing the wealth of the country. In this regard, I also want to remind you of the words of Utatu Madiba. I quote, "With freedom comes responsibilities. We dare not linger, for our long walk is not ended. Yinde lendlela esihambayo." I close quote. Comrades, we have achieved a lot, but our long walk has certainly not ended, especially in terms of economic freedom. We are not free until we have achieved land and economy for our people. The two pillars that Council's radical economic transformation is built on consist of, number one, economic growth and transformation in the ownership and control of productive assets in the economy. Number two, the delivery of basic services, housing and social goods to business and poor communities. The intention is that radical economic transformation will bring about transformation and inclusive growth. Honorable Speaker, we have also sought to deliberately ensure that Black businesses develop and grow to be big businesses through adopting the radical economic transformation framework, which seeks to ensure that Black businesses receive significantly greater preference through the municipal procurement process than has been the case previously. City, also mabhizinisi abancane abampofu, abathole ukuthi xaxa ukuze nabo bazibone bekhula emnothweni wabo. Our SC RCM unit is currently meeting with all departments to ensure its implementation, and roadshows with stakeholders will take place throughout the municipal area and will be advertised. As part of the radical economic transformation, this week we were at Electricity Department announcing the subcontractors who will be benefiting on the major projects from the department. About 21 of them are going to be benefiting in the first phase, and more will benefit, especially youth and women subcontractors. We are serious about unbundling this big project so that our people can benefit. Electricity has a huge budget, and black business must get a fair share. The days of big contractors subcontracting to their friends and connections are over in this city. The municipality, in partnership with the ITALA, has embarked on an economic empowerment program to transform township and rural-based stores into commercially viable and sustainable enterprises. This economic transformation initiative is called the Bulk Buying Program. In addition, we have rolled out an informal economy support program which supports the businesses while fostering the growth of informal and micro businesses that have potential to grow. We are looking into ways of empowering informal businesses such as tech shops so that people can buy prepaid electricity closer to their homes. This will empower them and assist the tech shops to grow. We have also undertaken numerous initiatives at the bulk fresh produce market, as well as within informal settlements and other areas. In partnership with the province, the municipality has been implementing an agrarian socio-economic transformation initiative, commonly known as RASET. The initiative looks at the agricultural value chain and seeks to strengthen the role of small businesses through targeted interventions. In addition, the municipality is in the process of acquiring farms from RCL Foods to capacitate local communities and encourage youth to participate in agriculture. This 45 billion rand budget is thus a budget that facilitates socio-economic transformation. I table this budget within a tough economic climate, which restricts our ability to put forward our expensive We have a shared responsibility to address the social and economic challenges before us. As united South Africans, we must together face with some of the following challenges. Income growth has been uneven. The bottom 20% have benefited from social grants and better access to services. The top 20% have benefited from the rising demand for skills and pay increases. Those in the middle have been left behind. Number two, wealth remains highly concentrated. 95% of wealth is in the hands of 10% of the population, largely white male, amadoda amhlophe. 35% of the labor force are unemployed and have given up hope of finding work because of lamadoda amhlophe ascindezelo. More than half of all school leavers each year enter the labor market without a senior certificate pass. 75% of these will still be unemployed 5 years later. Our towns and cities remain divided, and poverty is concentrated in townships and rural areas. Our growth has been too slow. We remain vulnerable to global financial volatility and rapid capital outflows. Speaker, I'm confident that we are resilient enough to pass through these economic turbulences. Lama gimi sizodlula kuwona ngenkani ayikalungi. In tabling this 45 billion budget, I believe we will effectively respond to triple imperatives, which are, firstly, the prudent control in tough economic times; secondly, providing a stimulus for economic growth and transformation; and thirdly, service delivery to our people. Let me turn to our local economy plans regarding economic development. The economy is at the heart of society, and it is only through a collective sharing of the economy. The Freedom Charter says, I quote, "The people shall share in the country's wealth, the national wealth of our country, the heritage of South Africans shall be restored to the people." I close quote. We need to use these available opportunities in our city to empower the marginalized groups such as youth and women and disabled. We must ensure that we empower youth and women through all that we do, all the catalytic projects that will assist us in growing our economy, food security programs, job creation, ensuring that women as well as youth development programs are running in full steam and have all been budgeted for. I want to highlight a few where we have made significant progress. Council has approved all the planning and zoning applications for King's Estate. This is a multi-purpose development in the north of Durban worth more than 40 billion. Zandla kuleyo ndawo. Sinomkhandlu akaDukuza sibambisene kule ntuthuko enhle kangaka enkulu ezokwakha amathuba omsebenzi. Number 2, as part of commercially consolidating RPTN C3 projects, the municipality has approved the selling of land to the Black empowered investor to build a shopping complex in one of the C3 stations. The investment by private sector is more than 300 million. It will create thousands of jobs for our poor people. Number 3, the city has approved the leasing of further land for Kwamnyandi shopping mall. The extension of this mall will provide more job opportunities. There will be a further investment by the developer of more than 30 million. The other one, the biggest project in this region is Konopia, and I'm happy to report that through the initiatives of municipality in partnership with Tongathulet, the Konopia business and industrial estates have been completed and all sites have been sold. In addition, construction is in the preliminary stages for a retail facility to provide retail and social services, and this will be completed in 2017-2018, in addition to the completion of upgrades to the Flanders Drive interchange. We are also in the process of developing a further 2,000 subsidized homes in Konopia. As the Dube Trade Port Industrial Development Zone, leases have been secured for all sites in Trade Zone 1 with a number of key factories constructed and now operational. In 2017, construction will start on the multi-billion rand CIPLA Biotechnology Hub, which will be a world-class state-of-the-art facility. Environmental authorization has been received for Trade Zone 2, and construction will commence in 2017-2018. I'm a factory now. A key catalytic driven by the municipality is the renewal of the inner city. In February this year, the council approved the implementation of phase 1 of the inner city regeneration program, which included intensive urban management. This consists of increased visible security engagement with businesses, alternative use of all bad buildings, and rationalizing street trading as a positive contributor livelihoods. We will also facilitate the realization of catalytic projects that are within inner city to refocus investment and align budget to deliver infrastructure in support of the vision. About 88.5 million is allocated for the inner city renewal program in the MTF. In addition to the above, 99 million is allocated to the beachfront upgrade. Abantu abakhulumile beachfront siyenza. 123 million for Warwick Junction, 61 million for the development of the Centrum site, and 90 million for enabling infrastructure for the Point waterfront development. Uzwile. We are making progress in partnership with the private sector in the development of Durban Film City, the Brickworks development, the extension of the Beverly Hills Hotel. Siyawanweba amahhotela ngoba ikhona ayaza ama-conference la eThekwini nabavakashi bethu bathi iThekwini iwom. Siyayinweba manje iBeverly Hills isihlangene ne-private sector. As well as phase two of the beautiful ocean development at Umhlanga. This project amounts to billions of rands invested by private sector. Ayiphumi kuthina private sector. Sathi sobamsana nayo. Yebo. Ngishilo ngathi amadoda amhlophe phela umnotho ukuwona bashaya kakhulu izandla. Somlomo, eThekwini's beautiful natural setting, moderate climate, and rich culture remains one of its strategic economic assets, which is being used to attract tourists. Strategic partnerships have been forged with National Geographic, which has seen Durban reach 500 million viewers, and Eurosport, which reached 147 million viewers worldwide. Partnerships have also been developed with local brands that travel extensively, such as the Sharks and Ladysmith Black Mambazo, to promote the city overseas. Our own Sharks, they really promote our city. I've been there, Mbabonile overseas, and Black Mambazo. The municipality continues to focus on strategic events that bring in visitors. Events are used as a tool to introduce township business into the visitor economy, which have brought tremendous benefit to township businesses. In 2016 calendar year, the tourism events generated a direct spend of more than 1 billion. Uzwile ngalapha abavakashi bebodwa ispendi sabo emahhotela 1 billion. 2 weeks ago, the city hosted a highly successful tourism indaba and was announced as the host city for this event for further 5 years. Much to the envy of other cities, in 2016, the direct spend by visitors only at events was 1 billion, and the contribution towards the city's GDP based on 2016 events was approximately 2.2 billion. Akusho mina, kusho abamabhizinisi. Our focus should be on events that have long-term impact, not these once-off events. We want programs instead of just events. One of our major draw cards attracting overseas tourists is the Inkosi Albert Luthuli Wesikona, our ICC, which remains our flagship project. Recently, it has successfully hosted the World AIDS Day Conference and World Economic Forum and grew its revenue by 17%, having a positive impact on the local economy as well as one of the finances of the municipality. The ICC also plans to upgrade the Durban Exhibition Center next year. Ushaka Marine World continues to record impressive results, boasting higher admissions in 2016-2017 than it had anticipated. The entity has yet again received a clean audit and scooped a number of national awards as a must-see attraction. The entity will commence work in 2017-2018 on a new master plan which will direct its future redevelopment plans. Izandla kule ndawo amakhosikazi alidala ama-entities amabili. Anesibindi ayadeliver as a clean audit. Earlier this week, Transnet nizwe kahle le ndaba officially launched the first Durban tug vessel that was built here in Durban, by the company from Durban, and also the people who were building it were from Durban. That tug cost 1.4 billion. It was officially named Umbilo. The people are going to be pilots of the tug are youth members, mostly women. Akhosikazi amabili nendoda eyodwa ngababona kahle angikhona. Awu-driver balethakhe. This is good news for Durban, but what is also exciting was the announcing of the preferred bidder of the Durban Cruise Terminal. Sishilo phela sathi silanda city manager ozoba ngqambili nje emhlabeni wasemkhandlwini nasemanzini sezimbili izinto ezinkulu efikile nje zenazo ake ngimphindele. But what was most exciting was the announcing of the preferred bidder for the Durban Cruise Terminal. The cruise terminal will be a drawcard for tourism in the city of Durban, which is already among the leading destinations in South Africa and globally. Siyaqhuba, si-on kakhulu ngalento yokuvakasha. We are glad that we have a city manager that understands the port, who will be able to link the community and city with the port. Ordinary people must begin to access opportunities in the port. Durban is a coastal city, and the only mine we have is the sea. We don't have any mine. Our mine is sea. We must be part and parcel of the ocean's economy and strengthen our working relations with the port. Spatial transformation has been a key imperative of national as well as local government over the past few years. In this regard, we have made progress in bringing economic opportunities to townships through a combination of improved urban planning as well as key investment funded by the municipality and national treasury through grants such as Neighborhood Development Partnership Grant and NDPG. About 180 million has been budgeted over the MTF for specific economic interventions in township areas. Our vision for our township is bigger and broader than a car wash, than Shisanyama, than Stokfela, than Umasngwabisane. But we want something big for our people in our townships. The city has delivered on a range township regeneration projects, primarily focused on the Ink area, Umlazi, Mpumalanga and Claremont, and Umgababa. In the Ink area, significant progress has been made at Bridge City, and we are going to address the accessibility issues in addition to developing an incubator for small and micro business as well as government service center. Council spending in Bridge City has thus far leveraged 850 million worth of private sector investment. Over the past few years, the municipality has made significant investment into Wamashu Town Centre. The most recent has been the development of a furniture incubator support small business in the furniture manufacturing industry. Wamashu, kwenziwa ifurniture. The focus of Mpumalanga has been on getting the new town centre developed, and council's investment of 56 billion over the past few years has leveraged 200 million worth of outside investment. Going forward, we will be investing in road upgrades, the development of a heritage center, a business incubator for small businesses, an agricultural support center for small farmers, as well as a waste beneficiation center, all of which will create much needed jobs in that area of Mpumalanga. Significant projects have already been implemented in Umlazi in the form of Kwamyandu development. In addition, we will be developing an industrial park for small businesses, as well as an automotive hub at Ezimbuzini. Council's investment in Umlazi has thus far leveraged 350 million worth of private investment. A number of projects have been implemented in Claremont, which included the upgrade of Zazi Street. In future, the municipality will facilitate the retail development and business hive in Kwadabega, as well as entrepreneurship center in Claremont. The challenge put forward by the Minister of Finance, Mr. Malusi Nkanyezi Gigaba, during the World Economic Forum was to focus on productive investment in township areas. I'm glad to report that many of the investment that the city is making is focused within the productive sector. In addition, the city has developed an innovation partnership called Innovate Durban, which is aimed at promoting innovation within the municipal area with a particular footprint in the inner city and the townships. It is intended that this will help catapult the city and the youth in particular into the future of business called the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Mr. Speaker, Mapena, the municipality has participated in provincial and sub-provincial scale planning through the strategic infrastructure project, known as Gauteng to Durban Development Corridor, which seeks to guide development along the N3. We have also developed a set of special plans that guides development within the municipal boundaries. The most strategic of these plans is the Spatial Development Framework, which has been reviewed in 2016-2017 with the aim of creating more integrated city. With the newly adopted rural development strategy, establishes a set of actions to promote rural development in Ndabezitha. Our planning unit has also proactively undertaken planning for the newly incorporated Vulamehlo area, which began even before the area was incorporated into eThekwini. Local area plans have been drawn up for numerous areas within municipal boundaries, and these plans take account of emerging trends and provides direction to development. In 2016-2017, a new appeal structure for land use applications was successfully established. The municipality has also been working towards an integrated land use management system to ensure uniformity toward the metro area, including the area of Vulamehlo. In addition, 2017-2018 will see the adoption of new planning bylaws. Apart from various plans being undertaken, we have also been working to improve the processing of building plans. Thus far, in 2016-2017, 1,603 buildings have been completed at a value of 623 million rands. In 2017-2018, we'll be implementing plans aimed at improving efficiency of planning applications. Somlomo sizosebenza kanzima ukuze abantu bakithi bahlomule emnothweni wezwe. We will use initiatives that we have outlined. We are working towards a more inclusive economy. Umhlaba owawo wonke umuntu. During the elections, we said to our people, I quote, "We shall develop and strengthen local economies. We'll create jobs and promote job placements, especially for the youth." The eThekwini municipality continues to be one of the biggest employers in the province, thereby playing a pivotal role in dealing with unemployment, poverty reduction, and inequalities. These provisions speak directly to the city's radical economic transformation framework, which aims to accelerate service delivery, provide economic opportunities to poor and unemployed residents, and grow the small business sector. Provisions in this medium-term budget continue to support government's commitment to address unemployment. Ukuswelakala kwemisebenzi will create job opportunities. Lokho kuzoba ukuthi uzibambele poverty alleviation at a cost of 93 million, with over 6,500 jobs will be created. Kungekho ma-consultant sizokwenza ngaphakathi emkhandlweni. Sizoqhubeka senze uSihlanzimvelo stream. Sinemali esibeke eceleni ewu-21 million ezosenzela imisebenzi ewu-500. Not ma-consultant. City manager wethu uzoqasha abantu abazosebenza nabantu abaxakile ukuklinwe imihosha yethu ngendlela efanelekile. Sizorecruiter oplumber abawu-943 ukuze senciphise ukuthi maqhuma amapayipi silokhu sishona ngapha nangapha. I-region izoba noplumber bayo ukusheshe kwenziwe umsebenzi. Sizoqoqa imfucuza esitholile nomphathi dolobha ukuthi kunamaqili angazange asibonise kahle anciphisa abasebenzi bethu emalokishini, emakhaya nase-city center. Kule budget sibuyisele emuva ukuthi abasebenzi bethu ababuye kusetshenzwe emalokishini koMlazi, koMashu, e-city center. Abasebenzi bande bakwazi ukuthi basebenze 24/7 ngendlela efanelekile, amadolobha ethu abe clean. Therefore, sizoba nenkampani ezu-366 ezi-community based nama co-ops bese siphinda futhi siba nabantu aba-1,770 esoba eta kulabo abakhona kulolu hlahlomali. Sizoba nama-community-based contractors awu-140 azo-roll outa amanzi nama-toilet ey'ndawo zasemakhaya la sinenkinga khona yo-TB nani, 140 community-based contractors. 31 graduate engineers employed under the water mentorship program. O-engineer, njengomkhandlu waseThekwini, abantu abasha sithi abathola umsebenzi abazukuhlala emakhaya laphaya emnyangweni wethu ofanelekile sizobathatha ngokwanele. Sizoba nawo caretaker esobathatha siwumkhandlu waseThekwini oholwa inqola emasonto ithambo lehlobo lenyekesabela imzondayo. 1,250 caretakers sidala amathuba omsebenzi kuma-approaching blocks. Kulolu hlahlomali luka-2017-2018 sibeke eceleni ibhajethi ewu-66.7 million. Wamathuba omsebenzi awu-23,484 e-EPWP abantu abaxakekile ukuze bakwazi ukubeka ukudla phezu kwetafula. Sino 58 million on various youth skills development programs. Abantu abasha sibacijela ukuthi bakwazi ukuthi babhekane ngqo nokuthi baqasheke. Sisho abantu abasha. Niyababona abantu abasha. Sino 58.7 million. As regards food aid program soup kitchen, amasobho lawo sizowalula njoba sina u-36 azoba u-54. Sino 72 million esubeke eceleni ukuthi abantu bethu abaxakile njoba sazi ukuthi iTheku linenkinga ye-TB abadla isobho bathola imishanguzo yabo. Sibeke imali ewu-30.6 million for 85 community guidance. Uqinisekisa ukuthi ingadi ngoba siyancoma kakhulu ukuthi abantu abalimi. Siphinde futhi sibe ne-42.5 million wabantu ababuthaka, abantu abasha abesifazane abakhubazekile. Siyaqhubha. Ubaba uTambo wathi, I quote, "A nation that does not take care of its youth has no future and does not deserve one." As a caring city, we care about our youth and our future. We have a number of initiatives across the municipality that are specifically targeting youth development. In some instances, it is specific areas of scarce skills. In other instances, it is a general upskilling initiative. We have also had a workshop on mainstreaming youth development for the city. We understand that youth activities cut across all departments, hence we have located youth in the office of the mayor. The following is a summary of this initiative to provide an overview of the programs in place. 199 learnerships relating to business administration, CCTV cameras, disaster management, call centers, and payroll administration at a cost of 5.48 million. 190 skills programs relating to firefighters, lifeguards, business processing, IT, educators, early childhood development practitioners, and professional driving at a cost of 3.5 million. 92 artisan development programs relating to fitters and tanners, boiler makers, diesel mechanics, welders, automotive electricians, plumbers, and air conditioning registration, repairmen at a cost of 3.3 million. 1,000 graduate work experience opportunities at a cost of 36.8 million. Isipiliyoni. Sakhiwa khona la ekhaya eThekwini. About 34 million for EPWP set aside for youth work opportunities. Abantu abasha nje kuphela. Ungayibali kade ngibale ekuqaleni. About 58 million has been set aside for youth skills development. I have tasked the city to look at addressing the issue of students' accommodation. This matter has been outstanding for a long time. We want to hold Department of Education accountable. We want to work with them. We are the local government sphere. If things happen, they happen here. That's why we're taking care of our youth in our universities. As the collective leadership, we said to the officials they must quickly fix the institutional arrangement of ICHAM. We want ICHAM to urgently deal with these empty and decaying buildings around the city. Sifuna ukubazi abanikazi babo. If possible, we must expropriate them for the benefit of our people. Some of the buildings are used for criminal activities. We will expropriate them and create job opportunities and accommodation for students and graduates who are looking for jobs. We will convert them to hotels that will be owned by black people as part of our radical economic transformation. We are very passionate about improving the quality of lives of our people. We have decided to join our two outreach programs, namely Operation Sukuma Sake and the expanded Public Works program under one structure in the Mayor's office. This move will strengthen service delivery in communities. It will create jobs and contractor development program. The merging of these two programs, which have impacted positively on a number of eThekwini residents, will ensure better coordination and further strengthen work that has already been done. Furthermore, it will ensure an improved response to community issues, both service delivery and related to those of social ills. Ensuring good governance in the city and our commitment to tackling fraud and corruption is one of our key priorities. In a bid to ensure the effective use of public funds and enhance accountability, I have spearheaded the process of merging the Finance and Procurement Committee with the Executive Committee to strengthen political oversight and guidance over the fiscal as well as financial affairs of the city. Furthermore, the merger of the two committees will continue to enhance accountability and transparency. In our manifesto, we have committed to pursue action against companies involved in bid rigging, price fixing, and corruption in procurement, ensuring these are consequences for municipal councils' illegal decisions, implementing recommendations emanating from forensic investigations conducted, including those made by Auditor General. We will urgently unveil our plans and responses in order to have clean governance that is trusted by the people. We have increased the capital budget in 2017-2018. This means there is more money available for service delivery and infrastructure development. However, this expenditure will be prioritized in terms of need, and it will focus on underdeveloped areas. This will also eradicate our service delivery backlogs despite the impacts of rural-urban migration. In terms of back to basics, the budget clearly provides funding for addressing issues such as potholes, cutting of grass, street lighting, robots, water leaks, etc., etc. Despite the current economic climate and the downgrading of the sovereign credit rating, we have managed to maintain our credit rating of AA in the long term and A1 plus in short term. This is a very commendable achievement indeed. Together with our unqualified audit report, this attests to the financial sustainability and viability of the municipality in the short and long term. This underpins strong cash generation with the highest collection rates in the country. Siqoqa ukudlula abanye omasipala imali ukuthi kwenziwe idingo. Prudent cash balances and strong liquidity, as well as well-graded balance sheets with moderate borrowings and careful expenditure management. We have also introduced austerity measures in terms of our national circular. The city has made major gains in the provision of basic service in the past 20 years. Despite servicing large populations, key outputs delivered show significant progress in the eradication of household backlogs by the city. The recent South African Cities Network 2016 report has noted the municipality for fast-tracking service delivery to improve quality of life in its citizens. The municipality has pledged to support the provincial government Back to Basics program aimed at the spirit of service delivery in province municipalities. In our election manifesto, in our elections manifesto, we shall build on the achievements made in the delivery of basic services, expanding the electrification program to the remaining areas and rolling out solar energy in certain areas. This includes electrification program for the informal settlement. Emijondolo sizoqhubeka sifaka ugesi la singakafiki khona nokwakha izindlu. Enhancing the capacity of municipalities to accelerate upgrading and integration of informal settlements, intensifying cleaning campaigns in towns and cities, increasing household and access to refuse removal, ensuring tarred roads and maintain gravel roads, addressing challenges relating to billing systems and enhancing the system. Sithi ukwakhiwa kwemigwaqo sizobanikeza bazoyakha ukumaintaina sibuyisa ama-offices ethu kuma-regions ukuze amakhansela angalindi forever elindi maintenance kule budget. In response, during Sugar Ray public hearings, people of Ward 13 and 16 have complained bezwe abathe bafuna ukuzikwathiwa about problems of sanitation. In response, we are saying 15,000 more consumers are going to be provided with basic level sanitation through our sanitation program, ama-ablution blocks. The prioritization to take into account matters from communities. Number two, people of Makabeni and surrounding areas said to us they need water. So that we'll connect about 10,000 households per annum over the next 10 years. Number three, in Umlazi, people of Ward 8, 85, 89, and 94 and others said they need electricity in their informal settlement. In response to that, we will be connecting about 80,000 units over the next 3 years, including electrification of informal settlement. Sizofaka imijondolo nasendlini eziformal siqhube nje kube kuhle kube njalo. In all of the areas, people complained about houses. Budget. They said we must build more RDP houses, renovate their R293 houses in Kwandengezi, Umlazi, and Kwamashu, Lamonville. They have complained about their houses, but izindlu ziyabola zidinga ukulungiswa, izindlu zobandlululo. We understand that housing is provincial government competency. As the city will build about 14,700 houses over the next 3 years, and 300 hectares of land to be acquired for more new subsidized houses. Emijondolo, we will increment services to informal settlement covering 5,000 households per annum ngonyaka over the next 3 years through access roads, footpaths, stormwater controls, and others. Imigwaqo are very much important for social economic activities. People have asked for sidewalks and speed humps to avoid the repeat of what we saw in Tuzuma during opening of schools. About 25 kilometers of sidewalk to be done over the next 3 financial year. We will come to rural areas. There is about 10 kilometers of unsurfaced gravel roads to be converted into surfaced roads. The prioritization of these roads to take into account the inputs from consultations. People with disabilities have spoken about the state of their transport. In response to that, we will increase provision of accessible transport to disabled people by covering about 50,000 people with disability. In Umlazi and inner city, people have spoken about refuse collection and cleanliness. We'll improve refuse collection services and we'll do it 100%. I will be launching an operation called Operation Kutulula to clean every street, every corner of the city. The Operation Kutulula will start from ward level. My pilot will start at Umlazi. In Umlazi last year, a girl child from Sotesi family was found dead. Ngiyakuza Tipu. Was found dead to the school in a small bush. May her soul rest in peace in Ward 83. In order to fight criminals, we must clean and cut grass and ensure that our lights are working. On Monday, our city manager, Siyabonga Baba Mshazi, did a brief walkabout which shows that he is a proactive man and he is serious about cleanliness of our city. People have spoken to us and we must respond. Respond now, not tomorrow. Baba Somlomo, the people's budget will also aid in bridging the gap between the rich and poor, mainly focusing on underdeveloped communities of eThekwini, and will make sure that we will be installing our Wi-Fi equipment in various hotspots around the city. In my, okay, Nsashaya, what's in the In my inaugural speech on 23rd of August, we committed to addressing homelessness and poverty in order to ensure that everyone lives in dignity. We have established the city's first multidisciplinary task team in August last year that is tasked to find an integrated approach in dealing with various social ills and challenges community that they face. This task team is supported by a special multi-operational response team which consists of our Metropolis personnel dedicated to supporting and addressing issues identified by the task team, the ripple effect of ridding of our city of social ills will also ensure that eThekwini is a safer and more resilient city, together with the rollout of a new citywide high-tech closed-circuit television project, which will include license recognition cameras and 24 hours monitoring. That's with our commitment to fast-tracking service delivery and provide basic services to our free basic services, pensioners, child-headed household, disability grantees, and medically boarded are exempted from paying rates on the first 460,000 rands of their property value. Residential properties valued up to 280,000 will be exempted from paying rates. All other properties valued at 230 for the first 120 of value rate will be charged. The first 6 kiloliters of water is free to households with property values under 250,000. The first 50 kilowatts of electricity is free to residents using less than 150 kilowatts per month in ESCOM reticulated areas. The first 65 kilowatts of electricity is free for residents using less than 150 kilowatts per month in eThekwini reticulated areas. The first 6 kiloliters of effluent disposal is exempt for all properties with value under 250. In addition, a free basic service is also available to indigent consumer units with VIPs, urine diversion toilets, and informal settlement service by means of a toilet or ablution block within 200 meters of radius. Residential property valued up to 250 are exempted from the domestic refuse removal tariff. In addition, a free basic refusal removal service is also available to indigent residents living in rural and informal areas. Notwithstanding the current economic climate and the pressure in terms of weakening currency, a growth rate of under 1% growing unemployment, inflation over 6% threshold, as well as increasing food and fuel prices, we have still managed to produce a basket of services with an overall increase of less than 6%. This is below inflation and very commendable under the current economic climate. Some of these increases have been unavoidable. For example, the bulk water tariff increase by Duncan Water Board was 15% in terms of specifics. The proposal of tariff increase for rates is 6.9% on average, 1.88% for electricity, 15% for domestic water consumers, 17% for business water consumers, 9.9% for the refuse removal, and also 9.9% for sanitation. We have published our new 2017-2018 General Evaluation Roll, whilst the value of properties in certain areas have gone up moderately. We have reduced the rate range by 11% for the residential properties and up to 13% for the agricultural properties. This will help ensure that our ratepayers are not overburdened. We also extended the objection period and we received just over 6,000 objections. While we encourage objections so that we can correct our valuation roll, this equates to just over 1% of all properties on the valuation roll. The objections will now be dealt with and properly owners will have a further opportunity to lodge an appeal if they are dissatisfied with the outcome of the objection. Ngifuna ukusho ngesizulu ukuthi njengomkhandlu onakekelayo sivule evaluation roll yethu sithi abanini bemizi abeze ngaphambili bazosho ukuthi ikuphi abangamsanako ikuphi oyingqinamba. Sikuvulile lokho ngoba mawusune inkinga kuthatha kube nzima ukuthi sidile nako ungezanga ohlelo njengalo. National Treasury annually undertakes a comparison of all metros or masipala bonke ingadlangadla. In the most recent comparison, the eThekwini municipality had the lowest electricity loss in distribution of 6.7% compared to the industry norm of 7.10%. More importantly, based on the basket of services provided by each metro, the eThekwini municipality had an average cost of 1,609,000 per month for rates, electricity, water, sanitation and refuse removal. This is lower than the average cost in Joburg, Cape Town and Tshwane, which are metros that are comparable to the size of our eThekwini municipality. To ensure that service delivery and job creation is maximized, we have to ensure that all accounts are billed and all monies due to the municipality are allocated. In this regard, our new revenue management system will certainly assist. The RMS has stabilized and collection rates have been increased to 96%. The new system links all services to a properly and therefore data cleansing is a key issue. As a smart city, we have also committed to electronic bill presentment billing, and our partnership with Italy Development Bank will take a billing system and collection to a new level. The Italy partnership will also create opportunities for entrepreneurs and will further advance our radical economic transformation drive. In addition, we are looking at a prepaid metering, smart metering, which will improve our collection rates and reduce our water and electricity losses. We will be ensuring that all meters are accounted for, recorded on the system, meter readings done and captured, and all are billed. We also want to take this opportunity to thank all ratepayers, consumers for this understanding with us moving to a new revenue system and for paying their accounts timelessly. We sincerely appreciate it. This initiative will create jobs for youth and economic opportunities for small businesses. During our manifesto, we committed in expanding broadband access in local government, including through free Wi-Fi areas. We have also started rolling out this free Wi-Fi. We piloted about 75 free Wi-Fi sites and we are planning to roll out 250 more, mainly in townships and rural areas. Innovation and technology is the key addressing the current challenges in our city. We'll accommodate the growing number of citizens in our cities due to rural urban migration. Bebaleka la becindezele khona beza kuthina we also need to find smarter ways to manage complexities, reduce expenses, increase efficiency, and improve the quality of life of our citizens. Accordingly, smart city initiatives are crucial. We have many projects and initiatives that are looking at this council. This includes inter alia, prepaid and smart metering, cloud computing, fiber optic networks, digital technology, and other technological improvements. We want to become a smart city that manages its resources efficiently. Traffic, public services, and disaster response will be operated intelligently in order to minimize cost and increase performance. Smart cities are the safer cities. To ensure a safer city, a further 600 police persons will be employed over the next 3 years at 200 per year. Sizoqasha amaphoyisa ethu emetro awu-200 unyaka nonyaka azoba u-300 for the 3 upcoming years. Funding has been provided for new and maintaining of existing CCTV cameras. Ama-CCTV cameras sinawo ey'ndaweni ezinjengoNanda kwaMashuntuzuma kwesinama-poles. Kumanje kune-budget esizoqinisekisa ukuthi ayasebenza lama-CCTV cameras khona sizolwa nobugebengu sibambisene ne-private sector. I would like to take this opportunity to condemn the abuse of women and call on police to protect our children and women. We say enough is enough. Our safe city is Metropolis. Our safer city and Metropolis will come up with plans to respond to this public outcry. We have budgeted a bigger slice to fight that. We said in our manifesto that, I quote, strengthen our plans that are aimed at reducing the negative impact of changing environmental conditions and taking advantage of new opportunities that may be presented. I close quote. I have been elected to the global board, C40, and I'm the head of C40 in Africa as a mayor of eThekwini. The impact of climate change has a very real long-term impact on the sustainability and viability of the cities. Thanks to the officials who are leading this program. Ultimately, it is about reducing our carbon footprint and leaving legacy that the next generation can be proud of. Accordingly, we need to commit to the people to the triple bottom line. Business and the city need to be responsible. In particular, when assessing projects, we must take into account the impact of the environment when doing the cost-benefit analysis. As mentioned earlier, we are also looking at developing a green economy. We are looking for green technologies and products. We are also looking at business to come up with an innovative model to fund green projects. The city is also looking at introducing green bond, but this is still in explanatory phase. In addition, I have requested our city fleet unit to look at piloting the introduction of electrical buses. I also believe that it is the responsibility of business to protect the environment and pay their taxes. This will help us achieve our strategic priority of becoming a greener city. This brings me to the issue of corporate social responsibility. That business have responsibility to the local businesses in which they operate. There are several initiatives that businesses can help the city. For example, businesses can adopt community gardens and soup kitchens to ensure food security and reduce poverty. As this will also help reduce poverty and inequality. It will help us to achieve our strategic priority of becoming a more socially cohesive city. In terms of Municipal Finance Management Act, a constructive engagement was held in National Treasury on the 8th and 9th May 2017. The purpose of the engagement was to discuss National Treasury assessment of eThekwini's Table 2017-28 budget. The presentations made by the municipality were well received. In summary, National Treasury made the following conclusions, and I quote, "The budget is therefore credible, reliable, funded and sustainable over the MTRF in terms of Section 18 of the MFMA," I close quote. Durban is certainly a world-class city. The eThekwini municipality has for the third consecutive years been ranked the top South African city with the highest quality of life in the International MESA 19 Quality of Life Survey. Furthermore, the SWU has scooped the Greenest Municipality Award, and the municipality was awarded the Govan Begi Award for Best Metro for Service Delivery. Moreover, the city was officially recognized as one of the new 7 Wonders cities. As you can see, we are clearly a world-class city. As I have mentioned, before that, we are happy to have won Indaba, and we should all celebrate our achievement. We are the winning team. In conclusion, I would like to thank everyone who contributed in making this budget a truly people's budget. I would like to thank our Deputy Mayor, Umandlovu. I would like to thank our ESCO Whip, Councillor Mondi Mthembu. I want to thank our Chief Whip of the Council, Mamuneli Nyanyisa, our newly appointed City Manager, Mr. Sipho Nzuza Mshazi, our DCM Esingayo today, Baba Ukrish Kumar, nawe Sandile Mnguni, sithi phakathwayo yeyeye ndluyakube yethu. My office led by Mr. Martin Baba and all the staff from EPWP assisting my office. We thank all the councillors and stakeholders and committees for participating. Makhansela, if beningezi kula meeting abasizange sikwenzele. Closing the first consultative conference at the University of Durban Westville, which is now UKZN, President O.R. Tambo said, I quote, "Working together as fellow South Africans, we have it within our power to transform this country into the land of plenty for all, where the nightmare of apartheid will just be a faint memory of the past." ICC, where we are, it's governed by a woman, Ms. Lindiwe Rakgaribe. We've managed to host our World Economic Forum successfully. Indaba is going to be here for 5 years. Really, Africa must unite. In closing our Africa Month, I present to you the People's Budget. I just want to say, long live the spirit of Oliver Tambo, long live. Forward to our radical economic transformation, forward. Halala eThekwini halala.